right, so I changed the oil on this thing, right, last night. Oil looks great. I mean, it was black. It definitely needed to be changed. And then I'm like, you know what? It's probably time to service this transmission because this has never been done before. I will almost guarantee it's never been done before. So first I had to figure out how to get inside here and pull these bolts out. That was one fucking hell of a job. So screw you, Buell and Harley, for making that such a craziness. But then I was like, yeah, it's probably time that we go ahead and do the transmission. So, you know, there's clutch fluid in here. It's been 6,000 miles. I'll almost guarantee you with how hard these bolts were to get out, and they look like they had never been tampered with before, that I knew that this had never had a service. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So then I pull the drain plug, and all of a sudden, white milkshake comes out. Now, for those of you guys who know anything about anything, white milkshake normally indicates either coolant is mixing with something, but this is an air-cooled bike, so we can pretty much assume it's not coolant, or water has somehow gotten in there, or trans fluid has gotten into a place where oil is, and it turns a milkshake. Check this out. Bam! Look at that goopy gunk. Yeah, that, you see that? See that dripping down right there? Yeah, that's right. That is what came out of the clutch. I have a whole container full of this right here. That means that this dude has been riding this thing in the rain a lot. And Buell specifically says on their website, if you're riding this in the rain, then you need to do your trans, because somewhere along the lines, the breather tube picks up water and pulls it into the clutch system. Obviously, somebody put 6,000 miles on this bike and never once changed the fluid because they didn't know how to get that bracket off, and they didn't want to take it to Harley to do it. Dan's a hell of a mechanic, so I sat down. I'm like, yeah, if I can take it off, we'll do all this. That's how you properly do things. There's a proper way to do things, and then there's not. I'm surprised this transmission still works, to be honest with you, with how much water came out of there. It shifts really smooth. So, but this is not good. That is really gunky. So now I'm going to have to go through this transmission. I got to pull this whole cover and clean everything and then reset the clutch, because this is unacceptable. Fuck you for not ever servicing your bike, guy. This is the problem with people today, is that they don't take care of their cars and they don't take care of their shit, and when shit starts to fail, they just sell it to somebody else like, I don't know what the problem is, so I'm just going to get rid of it. This is gross, disgusting. This bike has a long life ahead of it. The fact that you would ever let it get this bad, I can't believe it, bro. I can't understand. And when I got this, I knew I could feel the transmission had a little slop in it, which can easily be adjusted, or if I needed to replace a few chains. I knew all that going into this. I saw the engine oil, I knew it was black, and I felt the transmission. I kind of knew that it had, you know, a little bit of an issue going on with the clutch package, but all that is replaceable stuff, right? I didn't realize it was going to come back to being fluid. Like, this is so easily solvable, it's not even funny. All you had to do is take 3 bolts out, the access cover with a T27 anti-tamper Torx bit, and then drain it and refill the fluid. It takes a quart of fluid, and you could have solved your problem, buddy. Instead, you just let the bike keep getting worse. So for $20, you could have solved your problem. Instead, you're like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to sell the bike. So there you go. That's where we sit. I've got a little work ahead of me, because obviously cleaning all that gunk and goo and crap out of there is a necessity at this point to get all that crap out. I could run it a little bit and flush the system just by putting more fluid in, and maybe that's an ideal scenario, but I would like to only have to do this once. I don't want to keep having to pull this bracket off, pull it off, change, pull it off, change. Otherwise, I have nowhere to put my foot while I'm riding. You know, you got to have a foot peg. So I think the easiest thing to do, honestly, is just going to be to pop this cover off, reset the clutch, and just go through it and clean the whole thing, and then put it back together. Go down to Harley and buy Formula Plus and put Formula Plus in here, because that's what this calls for. So I think that's where we're going to go. But other than that, and it's running like a top and everything else is good. Just retard I got the bike from decided he didn't want to do any service work to the clutch. And you know, if he had read his owner's manual, he would have found out that the breather tube over, you know, the 2,000, if you're riding it in the rain, you know, after 2,000 miles of rain riding, you're going to have water in your clutch, and you need to change it. Like, it can handle a little bit of water, but this looks like this was ridden all 6,000 miles through any weather conditions. He was totally feeling up to it. I mean, this is just milkshake gunk right here. This is disgusting. I've never seen anything this bad before. I've blown car engines up and never seen it that bad before. I mean, that's just unnecessarily gross. You know, and that's why it's not shifting properly. The magnet picks up all of that broken debris inside the transmission. Look at that. I don't know if that's gear or that's clutch material. I have no idea. That's a lot of shearings, though. That's a lot of metal shearings. So, obviously, buddy, you created your own problem. Now, me, we're going to fix this properly. I don't plan on riding this bike in the rain, so I'm never going to have water in the clutch system. You know what I'm saying? Unless I get absolutely stuck in the rain, I'm never going to be riding in the rain. There you go. Easily solved, you know. Motherfucker. Some people just piss me off.